Good afternoon and welcome into George Finnie Stadium on the campus of Baldwin Wallace University. Cole McDaniel alongside Luke Schradel here as we bring you the action in this men's soccer matchup between Baldwin Wallace University and Olivet College. This was supposed to be the second doubleheader of the weekend due to some COVID protocols in the Olivet women's program. The game here that was supposed to be at 3 o'clock between the men's programs got moved up to 1. And now we have this one. It is the sole game today at Baldwin Wallace for the men's program, as well as the only game happening in men's soccer in the conference today on Sunday. Not too often you see a college soccer game on a Sunday, sometimes in non-conference, occasionally when you get some tournaments. But again, here in this one, another beautiful day in this early afternoon. Should be a great matchup as Baldwin Wallace won the game yesterday by a score of 4-0. Improving their record to 4-3. Olivet on a 3-game losing streak come in at 1-4, looking to try to get back on the right track. Luke, we saw a lot of good things yesterday from BW. What do you expect to see today?
Well, I'm expecting to see them test their fitness. This is a back-to-back game, and we can't forget about that because, that's going to mean we're going to see a lot more guys come off the bench and help out. But, this team is building momentum. They're on a 2-game win streak. They have a chance to put it to 3 today and keep things rolling against an outer conference team that they really should beat.
And Olivet, a tough matchup yesterday, is they were actually at Manchester in Indiana. So they were in Indiana yesterday, lost 4-1, and now they come to Ohio. So been on the road the last 2 days. Again, the legs are going to be heavy for both teams, but again, you have that lag with traveling as opposed to BW has been at home. Now for Olivet, they come in with their white uniforms with the red checkers on the sleeves and the red numerals. Cross into the box, and this one dangerous and trying to get on the end of it and just not able to get the right connection, and that will result in a goal kick. For BW, they're in their all gold jerseys today. The gold uniforms with the brown numerals on the back. And a dangerous opportunity for Olivet. Alex Kleck clears that one up in the air. We'll take a look at the visitors' starting lineup. In goal is number 27, Carlos Santos. He's joined in the starting lineup by number 2, Kyle Wind. Number 3, Seth Locklear. Number 4, Tyler Gerbasi. Number 8, Zachary Steffen. Number 9, Christian Mendoza. Number 10, Noah Runnels. Number 11, Joshua Rosendale. Number 15, David James. Number 20, Dominic Burmeister. And number 29, the leading goal scorer for the team, Kajil Dickinson. And taking a look at the starting lineup for the home Yellow Jackets, Matt Weaver was in goal yesterday. Switch it over to number 40, freshman goalkeeper, Zoltan Nagy. Again, another one of those big 6'6" goalkeepers. A lot of size out of all the goalkeepers for BW, and it's Nagy who gets the start in this one. He's joining the starting lineup by number 4, Trevor Ham at right center back. Rest of the defense, number 9, Zach Hoover, left center back. Alex Kleck out there once again. Left back, number 31, Andrew Dixon Jr. In the midfield, number 6, Attila Nagy. Number 8, Alex Gibson. And number 28, Nick Surowitz. And in the forward positions, again, it's what we saw yesterday. Number 21, Tommy Booser, that center striker at the 9. Julian Kieres on the wing, as well as number 26, Michael Tusik on the wing as well. Those 3 guys, Tusik, Kieres, and Booser, all picked up goals yesterday.
You love to see your stars get involved, and those are the guys that they really want to score goals. But you got to give credit to Attila Nagy. He really had some great balls setting up those guys yesterday. I felt like he was a great quarterback of this team.
Well, Nagy drops in a lot of times in between Kleck and Ham as the outside backs have a tendency to bomb forward. And you said it correctly, in his midfield spot almost acts as a quarterback. Tusik on the run, not able to get there, just beat out in that foot race by Kyle Wind. And Wind heads that back to his goalkeeper, and Santos going to slow it down. We've played 3 so far in the first half.
No shots in the first half yet for either team.
And especially when the legs are heavy. Takes a little bit of time to feel out the game. At times you want to get ahead early and, have that feeling of go, go, go. But also a matter of trying to work the ball around, keep possession. And that's what you're seeing Olivet do here. They're trying to get comfortable. But offsides, the run just a little bit early there from James.
They've gotten creative on the offensive end, but their execution just has not been there quite yet. They had an early dangerous chance for Rosendale, and he couldn't get there.
And Rosendale in the middle of the field got on the end of that, found that gap in between Ham and Kleck, and it was a beautiful ball right on his foot, and he tried just to redirect it on frame. Not the contact he wanted, but that has been the most dangerous opportunity for either team so far in this one. James in a foot race on the near side. He will get to it. Keeps it in play. Couple step overs. Trying to go to the left foot. Ham on the ground and just forces James a little wide, and that cross back easily gathered up by Nagy.
Solid defense by Ham there. Really just keeps his position well and keeps the offensive player honest and makes him do what he has to do. And that time the ball wasn't perfect enough to get a goal.
Tusick trying to play this one at the near post and right into the hands of Santos. Talking about the size of the goalkeepers for BW, there's a lot of programs out there that they would love to have a goalkeeper over just the size of about 6'2 or 6'3. But for BW's roster, you have Matt Weaver, who's listed at 6'6", and he's every bit of that 6'6" with the length. So's Nagy, listed at 6'6" as well. You have a freshman goalkeeper, Matt Beck, who's 6'6" on the roster as well. A junior goalkeeper and number 1, Nolan Kellogg, listed at 6'4". And then JT Brenneman, who we actually saw come in later on in the game, get some action yesterday. Again, a junior goalkeeper listed at 6'1". A lot of size there out of those 5 goalkeepers there on that roster. You really have a lot of guys who have the length, and you really have to place it well to get the ball behind either of really any of those goalkeepers.
And really, that's Reed Ayers. He's a veteran. He's a 20-year coach. He knows what type of guys he needs to recruit to win, and those big goalkeepers give you a huge advantage. And we saw it yesterday in the women's game. We had a 5'4" goalie. Just couldn't get to some of the balls that are upper 90s area.
Here's Quieres on the near wing, whipping it into the box. It's going to leak all the way through to the backside. Dixon can settle. Out to Tusick. Tusick, an opportunity to cut this back if he wants to get on his right foot, maybe put it in a cross. Gets to that right foot, splits 2 defenders. Going to put it into the box. Booser. Surwitz there, and Surwitz tries to chip it up and over the top. And I believe Booser initially, on that initial touch, was offsides. And the official calls that. And so any danger averted there for Olivet. And that's probably the most dangerous opportunity so far for BW.
Both teams trading dangerous chances early. But neither team has really taken the domination stance kind of the possession.
Ball one in the middle for BW, an opportunity in transition. A slow roller out to Tusick allows the defense to get back. He's able to play it into the middle. And first one there to cut that out is the center back, Tyler Gerbasi. Of course, Booser was lurking right behind him.
Great job by Gerbasi, just living for another day there.
Especially when those crosses are put in. One of the most important things as an outside back is just stop the cross. Make sure it doesn't actually come in. If it does happen to come in and you're a center back, you got to win that first one because there's always going to be an attacker there waiting for it. That long throw from Nagy flicked all the way back to Quieres. Quieres trying to make a man miss. It's poked away, but still will stay with BW. We've played 8 minutes here in the first half. Still 0-0, but an opportunity to break the deadlock, and they do. Tusick finds Surwitz on the back post. Unmarked, heads it right down into the ground, and not able to get over to the near post is Carlos Santos, and it just slips by him, finds the back of the net, and there is that break in the deadlock, 1-0.
And that's all about execution. Really great execution from both of those guys. You know, they start out with the throw, the short throw, and they have kind of a set play in the middle there, and they do a nice job of executing there.
You just had a gut feeling there on that opportunity that after that long throw got all the way to the other side, and then you saw that Tusick had all the time in the world to pick out a man on the back post. It looked dangerous, and it proved to be the difference maker. Olivet now trying to do what Waynesburg couldn't do yesterday, and after giving up an early goal, stop the bleeding and get back into it. There's a grab of the jersey as Surowitz was pulled back. Will be a free kick for BW. Of course, that goal, it did take just a little over 8 minutes for BW to finally break the deadlock. A little bit different yesterday. It only took 11 seconds before Tusick scored that first goal against Waynesburg. Of course, the first dangerous chance of this game was for Olivet. But an opportunity for BW in transition again. Surowitz trying to get down the end line. Play that in with the outside of his foot. Is deflected off of Olivet. Out for a corner on the far side where Quieres will look to whip in the in-swinger. And goes quickly. Punched away. The dive from Santos only as far as Gibson. Gibson will be able to head it back to Dixon. Time to reset. Poked away from Quieres. Ball played into the box. Surowitz there. Booster there. And it looked like if it took one more bounce, could have made it all the way to Tommy Booser, the freshman from Akron. Went to Revere High School. He was waiting and lurking on that back post. Santos, a great job commanding his box. Tusick, excellent pressure, getting to that and making the run all the way down the field. It's going to be out for a goal kick, last off of Tusick, but the defensive pressure being applied, making it difficult on the defense. And Tusick, you see that hunger, and we talked about how there might be some tired legs today. Tusick not showing it here so far as he is flying all over the place.
Yeah, head coach Ayers said that his team came into camp with great fitness. You're already seeing it on display today.
Quieres with the clever back heel. Able to find Booster in space. Just tripped up. Will be last off of Olivet and will result in a corner here on the near side. Quieres, the outswinger, has some big bodies there in the box looking for the head of Nagy. Just a little bit short of him. Won by Olivet. And going to have to clear this down the field. Of course, no Olivet players the other direction. Just out for... I'm not sure about that. I don't know how there was a deflection there, but they're going to say it was a deflection and a throw for Olivet. Maybe a little bit of a break.
Looks like BW really wants Tusick to press up because they feel like he has an advantage in his matchup.
This will be a Comets throw. Very similar weather conditions to yesterday. Again, clear skies, about the same temperature down there. Just a sunny day, and that wind, again, probably just about the same, going from left to right. This one up in the air. Nagy probably need to come out and command his box and get to that. I don't know if he lost it in the sun, but he actually retreated, and it was a free header there for the Comets. And not able to capitalize as Burmeister, if he would have just put that on frame, maybe had all the time in the world to capitalize on that as Ham just beat him to the ball, but as it deflected up, it was really awkward for Nagy, and I have to say, he might have been looking straight up into the sun.
Yeah, a lot of hesitation from Nagy. You really could tell that he had no idea where that ball was going to land.
Yeah, most times you're going to see a goalkeeper come out and get to that, command that box. Again, the only thing is maybe he might have lost it. This one out on the far side, already over the line, will be a goal kick. And BW can push up the other way. Dixon has all the time in the world. Booster giving chase. Played out by Olivet.
BW kind of starting to control the possession. The only Olivet chances have been in transition.
The ball whipped into the middle. Olivet only gets it out as far as Nagy. Here's Gibson. Gibson into the middle. And well dealt with by the Comets. An opportunity to maybe break the other way if they can find the ball out to the far side. And recovering back is Surowitz. Hoover into the box. Tusick wide open. Up and over the goalkeeper and into the back of the net. But offsides. Tusick just a little bit off. Again, I do think that run, by the time that ball was delivered by Hoover, did seem that Tusick was maybe a step or two ahead of the last defender. Pretty easy for the near side official. Fans aren't going to like that for the Yellow Jackets, but seemed to be pretty obvious there.
Yeah, Hoover with a great ball, but he played a really great game yesterday, so he inserts himself into the starting lineup the following day.
It's encouraging, though, to see your guys breaking free. You think about if you keep whipping in balls into the box, more of those are going to work out. You already won the header where Surowitz headed it down and got the opening goal of this game. The opportunity there for Tusick, and despite not having another goal on the scoreboard, it's still being 1-0. There's going to be more opportunities to whip the ball in the box and get guys free. Shot there from Quieres. Tried to get a hold of it as it sat up nicely for him. Got the laces on it. Just maybe the outside of the laces as it was bending away. And caught the post for the football. Field goal back there and out for a goal kick, and here comes BW the other direction. This one played long for Rosendale. He'll be able to put it into the box and not able to find Runnels. Hoover will let this run. He'll be out for a BW throw. Carries plenty of room to turn. Plays this one over. Tusick in between two defenders. He gets to it first. Just pokes it with the left foot. And getting back and clearing that away. I believe that was number 3, Seth Locklear. Great play by him. Again, if Tusick had a little bit more pace on that, probably would have found the side netting there. But Locklear quick to recover and clear it out for a throw. Still 1-0, Yellow Jackets.
It didn't look like Locklear had heavy feet after a game from yesterday there.
Here's a header, and Nick Surowitz again. Cross from Attila Nagy on the far side, and finding the fellow senior, Surowitz, the midfielder, out of Medina, went to Highland High School. Give him 2 on the afternoon.
Olivet defense really frustrated after that one. Felt like they could have had a chance at stopping that too, but great execution on the offense again from BW. They're finding what they want in the middle.
So that great effort from Seth Locklear to keep it out. That ensuing throw-in ended up resulting in a cross and a headed goal. His effort all for naught, unfortunately, if you're Olivet, and the Comets sit at 2-0 in favor of BW. "27 minutes left to go here in the first half of the lone soccer matchup today at BW, as well as the only game being played for any OAC men's teams today. Hoover looking to launch into the box. Has a man wide open in the back on the back post is Dixon. That one catches the top of the crossbar. Awkward for Santos, but it kicks out. And if the Comets can break on the far side, they have room in transition. Ball played forward. Nagy comes out to meet it, commanding the edge of his box. Great job by Zoltan Nagy.
Really learned from his last mistake of not coming out and dominating his box. Really does a great job of doing that there.
As Runnels was giving chase, Ham was to his left. If Nagy didn't come out, it was definitely 50-50 of who was going to get there first. Some contact there as Tusick hit from behind. Official trying to give BW an advantage, and Booser with the header gets to it before Santos, not able to get it on frame. Catches the near post side netting on the outside. Will be out for a goal kick. But the advantage there given by the official, smart, and it set up an opportunity for the Yellow Jackets.
This BW team looks improved even from yesterday. It's just every time they come out here, it seems like they get better and better. And you got to be happy about that if you're Coach Reed Ayers.
Well, and Luke, I have to say, as Brandon Garibaldi subbing in here, he'll switch over to the right side. Zach Hoover will go over to the left side. And Dixon will take a seat. You know, one thing about this team, we talked about the size of not only the goalkeepers, there's some decent-sized defenders, a couple players here or there as well on this team. But a couple weeks ago, of course, things have finally started to get back to normal, where unfortunately last year there was no alumni game. This year there was. A couple weeks ago, had the privilege of playing against these guys. You know, up top, you know, a lot of those attackers, definitely not the biggest team. They are not big in stature with those forwards. Some of the defenders, like I said, have size, and the goalkeepers do. But I have to give these guys who, not necessarily the biggest attackers, they're getting forward, they're getting their head on the ball today. And that's been quite impressive. There's another opportunity. It looks like Booster actually tries to flick it on, and it bounces off of, I believe, about the chest of an Olivet player. Will go out for a corner. Another opportunity to send Hoover and Ham forward into the box, as they've really been the first ones getting to those 50-50 balls and getting their head on it. From Nagy, and that one actually won by Olivet. They only get out as far as Garibaldi, who just subbed in. Looks to put it back in the box. The Comets looking to break on the far side. If they play it down the line, would have been able to get it past Attila Nagy, who was tracking over. Joshua Rosendale had some space. Instead, deflected off of Nagy. Great job recovering. Out for a Comets throw. Heavy contact as challenge was late there from Surowitz.
You can just see in some of the body language of this Olivet team that they made a long trip this morning and the night before.
Yeah.
It's time for them to get an offensive possession and get a shot on goal. They only have 2 shots so far, nearly midway into the first half.
Yeah, it's a bit brutal to go from, of course, playing in Indiana, your home state is Michigan, and then going to Ohio the very next day. That's a lot for BW to play 2 home games back-to-back. Here's an opportunity, the shot for Tusick. The initial save by Santos just puts that right back into the middle instead of catching it. And Quieres was able to get to it, but the pressure on him, not able to get off a clean shot, will roll pretty harmlessly back to Santos, who punts it away.
Not the greatest placement on those 2 shots. Really didn't challenge the goalkeeper.
Nagy, plenty of time to find some feet, finds Ham back at midfield. 21 and a half minutes left in the first half. Gibson to Tusick. Surowitz's feet gives him the overlap run and plays it across the 6, and it's cut out on the near post. Surowitz with the left-footed shot. Not too much pace behind that. And Olivet out to midfield, where Ham and Alex Kleck jointly deal with that. 1-2 passing is Hoover making his way forward from left back. Tried to find the through ball run of Quieres. We'll roll all the way back to Santos, and Santos has stayed busy here in the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, he's already faced 9 shots so far in this half, 4 being on goal.
Rosendale trying to get his way forward. I believe there's going to be some dissent from him. Official calling him over. Going to talk about it. Maybe a bit of a warning there. Again, still early. Whatever was said, nothing that the official thought was something he needed to go to the book for yet. But you can tell there was definitely a talking to as he stopped playing. We're back in action.
And I think that just almost comes from Rosendale's frustration. He had a really early chance that he could have cashed in on, frustrated about that, and then you go down 2-0. So some emotion is definitely going to come alive.
Free kick out on the far side. Hoover's about 50 yards out there. Nagy going to put it down, and they continue to get moved back. They're going to play this short as Olivet had dropped back. Nagy from the far side, looking to the back post. Too much leg behind that, and sails it out for a goal kick. And so we've played a little bit over half of this one so far. Again, yesterday, maybe just a tad bit cooler down there. Right now, it is showing about 80 degrees. Again, there is a nice breeze, so it does feel very similar to yesterday. But again, with it being just a tad bit warmer, again on that turf, those rubber pellets, as you know, with playing lacrosse as well, you know, it makes the field a good 10, 15 degrees hotter on those warm days. YellowJackets.com. A reminder that today's Yellow Jacket men's soccer match is being brought to you by Cleveland Clinic, Global Recycling Company, and the Oswald Company for all of your insurance and risk management needs. And Luke, as we take this break so far, Olivet started quickly in this one, but since then, It's really been going the direction of BW. They've been getting the headers in the box. Again, they've been finding the open space, and they've really been threatening that defense. They've really dominated around the 18 to this point, and even though they found the back of the net more times than 2 times, again, there was the one that Tusick headed, and that was offsides, as well as nearly had another one. Again, you would expect that with the way they're playing, would not be shocking unless Olivet here in this little break, which the nice thing about the hydration break is you do get to talk it over, almost have a bit of a timeout here. Unless they straighten something up defensively, wouldn't be surprised to see BW score another time in this half before we go to halftime.
Yeah, Olivet's got to change something up on the defense. We just make it look way too easy for BW right now when you have an advantage, 9-2 shots. You know, they've been controlling the possession, obviously making Olivet and the Comets chase around, but it's really been their execution that I've been impressed by and how good some of these balls have been right on target, especially those corners. And they've been able to set up their teammates really well. 2 assisted goals. Couldn't be more happier if I was the coach. I mean, very similar to what they did yesterday. Almost exactly the same. Zoltan Nagy really hasn't even seen anything that has contested him other than maybe that one shot that he almost misplayed because the ball was in the sun there. But Santos getting some action. Really haven't seen him have a chance to make a big-time save quite yet.
Yeah, and Santos, you mentioned, staying busy. Wearing the number 27 today, the sophomore goalkeeper out of Kalamazoo, Michigan. Looks like went to Loy Norrix High School there in Kalamazoo. Only listed at 5'8". Again, he's been getting down pretty quickly to everything low. But we talked about the height of goalkeepers. Is that something BW will try to look to take advantage of and try to play some of those high into the upper corners? This one rolling all the way back to Santos. There's some movement down the corner for BW. Expect to see some subs soon. Not only for the Yellow Jackets, but also Olivet. Here's the tackle by Surwitz. Just lunging for that. Gets his foot to it. It will be out for a Comets corner on the far side. Going over to take it is David James, the sophomore midfielder out of Wolverine Lake.
Really important first corner. This has been their first time really possessing the ball on offense in the attacking third.
The in-swinger right on the head of Nagy. He gets his big paw up there.
That's what the height will do. It makes it really look easy for Nagy. That's something that's not going to look as easy for Santos.
Yeah, and easily the tallest man there in the middle of that. Throw to the near post. Garibati deals with it. Tusick tracking back, looking for the feet of Chiares, flicking it on. And Garibati clears it up. And Olivet will reset at midfield. The flick by Rosendale will hop. Off the one hop to Nagy. Fairly simple there. And BW bombing forward the other way. Gibson, a guy who really hasn't been on the ball too much in this one. We saw a lot of him yesterday in the midfield. Was lurking on that far side. Again, still back there on the back post. If they can find him. But Olivet draws the foul. And a free kick back on the 20-yard line on those football hashes. Interception, an opportunity to go 3v3 for Booser. Booser driving with the left foot. Maybe an opportunity to fire. Lays it off for Tusick. Tusick, Chiares. Outside of the foot. Got some side spin on it. But directly at Santos. If he was maybe able to get a little more contact and flip it up to that far side, we might be looking at 3-0. Instead, Still 2-0. 16 minutes left in the first half.
You love to see that type of ball movement, though. They just looked like they were on the same page. They were really in tune with each other.
And unfortunately, it looks like the goalkeeper, Santos, is down. Not necessarily sure what happened, but it looks like he's grabbing his left shoulder. And no contact with any other player out there. The contact he did have had to do with the ground when he dove. And so after we've had only about 4 minutes of game action since that hydration break, this is going to give another really quick break, a quick splash to both of these teams. And as Olivet getting some water over there, BW actually gathered up in a circle talking over a couple things, and see one of those senior leaders, Attila Nagy, leading that talk. Nick Zerwitz, who has the 2 goals to his name today, will take a seat and get a breather. Checking in for him is number 25, Brandon Eddy, the freshman midfielder out of Lewis Center. Went to Olentangy High School. So Santos remains in the game. Still holding that left shoulder a little bit. Again, we will wait and see if that affects him at all in the rest of this game. There's plenty of time still left. Ball played long. Hoover hits awkwardly off of his right hip. And out for a Comets throw. Just past the Yellow Jackets bench.
Safe play there on the throw, just trying to get a possession going.
Ball into feet. And Rosendale has it poked away from him. Just on the right side of the corner flag, so it will be a throw from deep. And Rosendale, the senior forward, looked to launch it into the box right on top of the head of Nagy. Gets his arms up there and meets it at the highest point and easily hauls it in. And will take some time here and let his team push forward.
Quality ball from Rosendale, but just better defense and better goalkeeping from Zoltan Nagy.
And if you have a shorter goalkeeper, maybe that is a spot to put it on top of a goalkeeper's head and make it difficult. It's not the guy to do it with. Maybe a minimum look to the near post, see if you can get somebody flicking it on. But you're probably not going to beat Nagy dropping it on his head. Here's a substitution as Tommy Boozer goes to the bench. And into the game is Shaheen Garamani. Garamani nearly gets the header at the near post. Just punching away is Carlos Santos. This one out of play. Will be a throw for Olivet. Nagy with room to open up the space. Plays it to Ham. To Quieres. Gibson in the middle. And a poor first touch there. As it bounced up on him. Tried to wrap that foot around and go with the volley. Not able to keep it down. That one was sailing high the whole way and out for a goal kick. James in the direction of Herring. Will be an Olivet free kick. Pretty far out to try to directly put this one on frame. Would think they'll try to put this at about the PK spot, get somebody running onto it and get ahead on it. Would be very optimistic from way out to hit this one. Going to the back post, wide open. And nearly getting to the ball is number 9, Christian Mendoza. He got past his marker. He was wide open. Maybe on that jump, just a tad bit early, and that resulted to go just behind him. But that was a nice opportunity for Olivet. And here's a throw. Excuse me, actually. Free kick on the far side, and Hoover will put it down to take it.
And that still doesn't register another shot for Olivet. Only 2 still. BW sitting at 11.
This one bouncing around in the middle. Tusick. It was sitting right in front of him, and he got that right foot out, and as Carlos Santos went to grab it, Tusick just poked it, and it slipped through. Finds the side netting at the back post. 3-0, Baldwin Wallace.
Tusick has been really aggressive all game. He really wants to push his advantage in his matchup, and he just feels like he's one of the better players out there. And when you get that feeling, it gives you even more confidence. And he's Johnny on the spot right there with that goal.
So Tusick, 2 goals in 2 days. And he's provided a lot of energy out there on the field.
Yep, also had an assist on that first goal.
It just feels like, Nick Surowitz, he does have the 2 goals leading the team today, but it feels like Michael Tusick has been that danger man where if you're Olivet or an Olivet fan, you start sweating a little bit when he's getting close to the box because he's been making a lot of plays happen. So a goal and an assist for him today. Eddy fouled. And we'll have several substitutions on the next dead ball for BW.
Baldwin Wallace's football team is 2-1 overall, 1-1 in the OAC. They return to action on Saturday, September 25th, when they host.
That one drops in between Garibaldi and Tusick. Throw for Olivet. At least it thought it was going to be a throw, and there it is, a throw. Just over the line here. Cutting back. Finding some room, firing in the near post, off of the outside of the near post. David James got some nice power on it, but that's a tough angle. Nagy was there. If it did come a little bit more inside. Smacked pretty hard off the outside and out for a goal kick. And here are those substitutions. As Alex Gibson checks out, as well as Michael Tusick.
It's really good goalkeeping by Zoltan Nagy there. Almost snuck it in that near post. And that can really catch a goalie off guard, especially that at that angle.
Getting his first action of the game, number 22, Ben Wilson in the midfield. Played that one back to Hoover before it was played long. And out on the right wing is number 16, Evan Scott. Freshman out of Powell. Went to Olentangy Liberty High School. Wilson wins the header and is fouled. 8 minutes left to go here in the first half. You're watching and listening on bwyellowjackets.com. Again at halftime as it's quickly approaching. We will take a quick break, but the second half action will be here on bwyellowjackets.com as well. So even at half, make sure to stay tuned and don't go away. Ball played all the way back to Kleck. Give it to Nagy, who has plenty of room to take his time and find some feet. Kleck from left center back, working it forward to Wilson in the midfield, who turns over to the near side, finds Ham. Some good ball movement right now, just slowly working their way forward. Down the line, Garibaldi had room. Joshua Rosendale getting over and heading that one out. Poked away from Nagy. Played forward. Here's the run. The foot race between Herring and Ham wins out. And Herring laboring a little bit. Not sure if he got his foot stepped on or what happened there, but a little bit of a hobble. Dickinson fighting for it with Scott.
Impressive reaction by Ham there. Got a chance to interview him yesterday in the postgame. Really cool, calm, and collected guy. Love to see that in your seniors. A lot of credit to his teammates yesterday.
Here's Garamani. Back to Hoover. Bad hop there for Nagy and just has to play it back and settle. Nagy's had a lot of room to work with there in the middle. That time pressured. And way out is Zoltan Nagy. And trying to catch him off of his line is Olivet. And Zachary Stephen. Saw the thought there from him. And Stephen actually just launched it over. Never really had a chance to get that one on frame. And so some subs here. Kyle Eddy checks in at right back. Brandon Garibaldi moves over to left back as Hoover takes a seat. Peter Petrie into the game. A bit of a reward for the seniors' effort and hustle at the end of the game yesterday. Had some dangerous opportunities as well. Of course, Petrie, the senior forward, out of Canada. Looking for him there, not able to connect. Plays it back to Ham. Ham looking forward to Garamani, flicked all the way back to Santos. And this has been the longest break where Santos really hadn't gotten a touch so far in the first half. Under 4 minutes left to go in the first. Still 3-0, Yellow Jackets.
Really feel like on that missed opportunity where Nagy came off his line, they really had a great opportunity to put in a goal that would somewhat silence all the momentum that's going towards BW's way right now.
Ball played back and looking for Kyle Eddy. Just a bit of a misplaced ball out for a throw for Olivet. Excellent settle there by Brandon Eddy. And here's a free kick for BW. And I think this is one that's on the 25-yard mark on the football lines. Again, you have to take the end zone into account. So, sitting about 35 yards out from goal. If I'm Attila Nagy, plenty of room to get this up and over the wall. I would think about maybe testing Santos here.
Has the strength.
Instead plays it to the near side. Eddy. Petrie there at the near post. Pushed away by Santos, only out as far as Nagy. We'll head it over to Kyle Eddy, who puts it into the box. It's drifting to the back post, and Santos has to dive for it. And if he did not push that to the side, I believe that might have ended up being a goal. That was a cross from Kyle Eddy. Didn't have quite the whip I think he initially planned on, and it was drifting maybe towards the upper 90 there. And Santos making a big play. And it looks like that left shoulder that he was holding earlier is fine now. A little bit of a bump there with the upright as well. Good to see he's okay after making an excellent play and keeping this one at 3-0 with just a minute left.
It's Olivet's probably best defensive play so far in this one, and I think that's the fourth save, if I'm correct. Yep, the fourth save for Santos.
Turn there from Nagy to Kyle Eddy here. Eddy wants it again, puts it into the box. This one straight on a rope directly to Santos.
Good read by Santos. He wasn't going to be fooled again and came up and made the right play.
Garamani giving chase. Santos gets to it and just some incidental contact as Garamani was on a full sprint, and Santos going to take the blunt force of that one. Again, he's laying outside of the box right now with the ball still in his hands. Not like that's going to be a handball or anything. It's going to be called a foul. Protect the goalkeeper is what the official's doing here. But again, you can tell that was just one of those where Garamani was being shielded off by a player, was running at full speed, and he and Santos just happened to collide. So the free kick for Santos as we get things going, again with 18 seconds left. The whistle will start the clock again. And this should really be about the last bit of action here in the first half. Header won by Wilson. Garamani chasing that one down, and it's cleared all the way over the stands, out into the street, out into the Berea Mid-Park parking lot, and that will do it for the first half. So the Baldwin Wallace Yellow Jackets looking very similar to their game yesterday. They went into half yesterday at 2-0. Today, it's 3-0, courtesy of two headed goals by Nick Surowitz, as well as a nice finish by Michael Tusick. And that is how we sit at 3-0. Again, we will be back with the second half action here on bwyellowjackets.com. But before we go to the break, Luke, I want to ask you, what were your thoughts on that half for both of these teams?
Really great execution from BW. 15 shots, 7 on goal. You cashed in on 3 of them. Had a lot of great balls whipped inside. And just some great play. 2 assisted goals. Couldn't be happier as a coach there. But if you're Olivet, you have to kind of, learn from some of the things that aren't working on defense. And it seems like they kind of shored up some things in the middle. And you just have to get better, especially when you're down 3-0. And it's kind of running away from you. Great effort they showed in the first half. Santos had a couple of nice saves. A lot of things that you can take away if you're down 3-0 here at halftime.
We'll be back with the second half in about 14 minutes on bwyellowjackets.com. Cole McDaniel and Luke Schradel bringing you all the action. And we're back here for the start of second half action on BWYellowJackets.com. Cole McDaniel alongside Luke Schradel. BW leading 3-0 coming out of the break. And they will be going from right to left across your screen. Looks like the same lineup for BW that started in the first half. Again, that wind going from left to right across the field. So the wind at the backs of the Comets. See if they can get anything going offensively. It's a tall task to try to get back in this one, being down 3. And momentum, especially in that first half, had really been swinging fully the way of the Yellow Jackets.
And they're playing a similarly well game today. I mean, 15 shots, and I think 5 or 6 of them really quality looks at goals. And this offense has just gotten even more dangerous as time has gone on today.
And we have a change at goalkeeper for Olivet. Carlos Santos on the bench. And I believe back there is 00 Peter Ruse, the junior goalkeeper out of Frankenmuth. Here's the ball floated to the far side. Defense back for BW over the head of Kleck. Dixon deals with it. Back into the mixer, turning the left-footed shot. Low and directly to Nagy. As Jose Vargas, number 30, actually, excuse me, that is number 10, Noah Runnels. Runnels had a couple opportunities. They were trying to find him in the first half. If he was able to put that to either side, maybe could have made it difficult on Nagy, but Zoltan Nagy there to meet the challenge. Facing his first shot against him of the half. With just about a minute and a half played here in the second.
You want to go low on the 6'6" goalie, but not enough power on that shot to get it past the keeper.
Hoover cuts that one out. Surwitz plenty of room and space, and he was looking for the far side, the direction of Buser. And coming up hard on the challenge, going to be an advantage. Play on for Olivet in transition. Herring to the back post, skips inside the 6. Nagy will let it run, and Runnels not able to track that one down, out for a goal kick.
Really almost too ambitious on the free play there, but really didn't think he had a chance on getting anyone in there. Probably could have taken a shot.
Surwitz cuts that one out. Plays it all the way back to Nagy. Just slowly reset the attack. Find the feet of Ham, and Ham going way down the field as he has 2 on the back post. Able to get up and win the header is Rosendale. But BW in transition again. Buser to Surwitz. Surwitz back to Buser in the middle. And they're going to say offsides. But that was some nice ball movement and looked dangerous before the offsides was called.
Yeah, they tried to get give and go in between Surwitz and Buser.
Kleck. Smart play to head it back to Nagy, and Nagy out to Dixon.
Really smart play. I think that bounces awkwardly one time and gives Olivet a really good chance at a goal.
Tusick again was dangerous in the first half. Here he comes down the near side wing, cutting in, laying it back to Quieres, who turns, has it taken off of his foot. Several bodies down on the ground. 2 here on the near side is number 8. I apologize. That's actually number 6, Jake Dickinson. As well as number 11. Joshua Rosendale were down here. Tusick still hobbling after that tackle the other way. So 2 of the 3 up. And now the 3rd up in Rosendale. And the official about to blow the whistle to get the clock moving and get this going again.
On that play, really good job by David James of winning that ball. I think he loses that, and BW has a chance to find a couple open guys on the backside.
Surwitz in the middle. Finds Quieres. Quieres turns. Hoover was running through. Busser was initially thinking of running that direction, saw Hoover go past him and held up his run. Last off of Olivet will be a long throw for Hoover. Again, going to launch this into the middle of the box. And head away by Olivet. And Runnels not able to wrap his leg around that. Turning and playing up the field. So it will be a throw here in the near corner. Surwitz back to Nagy. Attila Nagy back to Dixon. Dixon floats it to the back post where Tusick is. That was going back, and no opportunity for Tusick to get any real power on that ball that was floated up to him. And will roll harmlessly into the hands of Roos.
Whole lot of spin on that ball coming in, and kind of hard to read where you need to put your head to finish that one, but easy save for the keeper.
Rosendale cuts that out in front of Tusick. Similar to how the first half was, possession still in favor of the Yellow Jackets.
But credit to Olivet, they came out of the halftime break with just a little bit more energy than they had at that end of this first half. Kind of seemingly felt like they were losing grips of this game a little bit, but kind of put the bootstraps back on again here.
Again, both of these two teams, second game in 2 days. BW at home for the second time. Olivet is in Indiana in their last game against Manchester, and now here in Berea. Mentioned in the first half. No updates around the OAC conference in men's soccer today, as this is the only team in action. And most everybody was in action yesterday. Getting all the way through to Runnels, and Ham just takes it off of his foot and clears it out to the near side. Slowly coming forward to take this throw will be Rosendale. Expect a long throw here as well. Trying to get into at least the near post. Get a near post runner to flick it on. Again, each time it's dropped on the top of Nagy's head, he's been able to deal with it quite comfortably. This one low to the near post. And Attila Nagy cuts it out, and Rosendale wraps his foot around it. Gets some solid contact, but directly to Zoltan Nagy, the freshman.
They started Rosendale at the forward spot. They move him back to right back, seemingly because of his height, in my opinion. I really think that they were struggling defending the middle with some of the bigger guys. They really needed him back there. He's one of the bigger guys on this team at 6'2", 185.
Yeah, and he has been cutting out some of those balls in the air. Maybe an opportunity to need to do that again as Hoover possibly looking to put this one in the box. Instead gives it to Gibson. An effort for the 1-2. Turning his Herring, looking down the line. Out for a BW throw. One thing when you're the team that hasn't had the majority of possession, a lot of times the way for you to strike back is on the counter. On the counter in transition, when it's been a foot race, you can tell not necessarily the game Olivet usually plays. As again, their counters haven't really had any pace or authority to them, and it's been quite easy for Alex Kleck and Trevor Ham, the center backs of BW, to deal with. As it's one back for Olivet again. Plenty of yellow jerseys behind the ball. Clever turn by James. And Kleck shielding that one off. A lot of contact in his back, and Herring really mows him over. Lots of contact. And Kleck just standing strong, and an excellent job by the center back recovering over.
Great effort to just put his body on the line for this team.
And Kleck, a guy who a lot of his career so far, he's a junior at this point, has been an outside back, seen him play some left back. A little bit of a different role at left center back this season. So far this weekend, he's been outstanding.
Love the creativity of Kierez's pass on that last run. Just a good read by the Comet defense.
The foul there, and Kierez will come over from right wing to get on this ball and look to whip it in. Attila Nagy there as well. Would expect the right-footed Kierez to take this one. Put this in where it's directed towards the back post. If anybody gets ahead on it, can redirect it. If not, it's already maybe going in. Again, right at that back post. Surowitz gets up. He has 2 goals via his head today. That one, just a little bit over, was not able to get it down. Big collision. Out for a goal kick.
I think you kind of shore up some of that execution there, and it was a great ball, just too long, and caused a collision with the post.
Yeah, quite a few bodies of not only Yellow Jackets but also Comets colliding there, as Olivet really did just enough, as Surowitz was the first one up to it, just to put him off there on that header. Score remains 3-0, and that is a foul throw for sure. Just a careless mistake there from Kyle Wind. Tried to throw that one in about a yard onto the field. It's almost looking at the football lines rather than the soccer lines out there on the far side.
And it gets kind of confusing on that sideline with that box being there for the away team during the football games. It's hard to kind of see the difference. There's just a little patch of green, and then there's the yellow soccer line. Sort of a home field advantage here at George Finnie Stadium.
Throw in to the near post. Sits for Tusick. Can't wrap the foot around and get that one down. Lots of backspin, floated up. And over the goal, out for a goal kick.
Hoover's had a lot of success on throwing it into the middle. It's just a lot of power and aims it quite well, and a lot of finesse on that ball.
Yeah, Dixon going off. Almost seems like a bloody nose or something along those lines. And so Garibati checks in quite quickly for him. Garibati at his typical right back position, switches Zach Hoover over to left back. So a free kick for Olivet from midfield. Look to float this one into the box. Zoltan Nagy up and meets that at the highest point. If he let that one go, would have been going long. Would have been out for a goal kick, but not taking any chances. The catch there, and feeds Garibaldi. Hoover in the near touchline, looking in the middle to Nagy. Attila Nagy up the middle. Is Christian Mendoza. Curace.
I thought he got tripped. I really thought that the defender got under his foot there.
I'm with you there. I think the foot had to have gone through Curace because it looked like he got his foot wiped out from under him.
And he fell to the ground pretty hard. It wasn't like he flopped over or anything. He just got tripped.
The line judge right on top of it. I'm surprised we didn't see the flag wave, but instead Olivet coming the other direction. Here on the near side. Playing it down the line. Just a shoulder-to-shoulder bump there from Kleck, staying strong up against Runnels. Runnels wants a foul. Again, on this near side. In front of that line judge, and he was right on top of that. And again, he said no foul there. Well, the shoulder-to-shoulder bump.
It's a consistent call from both of the referees, kind of on the same page with similar contact, but it was just a trip on the other end. So, but one thing for this BW offense, they already have 17 shots. They ended yesterday's game with 23 total shots. They've just been really aggressive, and I think the passing today has been a lot better.
So it looks like the issue there for Dixon has been resolved, and Garibaldi checks back out. Dixon at right back at the moment, and Hoover stays on the left side. Plenty of space here for Kajil Dickinson. Hoover to Tusick. Tusick drop of the shoulder and turns. Here's a 4v4 opportunity for BW. Maybe should have gone out the other side. Instead, Tusick came back to the near side looking for Curace, and it's taken away by Rosendale back to his goalkeeper. That was one that head coach Reed Ayers in his 20th season wanted Tusick to keep it going out to that right-hand side. As we have a quick little pause in action. A reminder that today's Yellow Jacket men's soccer match is being brought to you by Medical Mutual of Ohio, the healthcare provider of Baldwin Wallace University, Buffalo Wild Wings in Medina, Strongsville, and Warrensville Heights. Buffalo Wild Wings, the ultimate place to get together with your friends to watch sports and eat wings. And Barron's Bus, the official charter bus company of Yellow Jacket Athletics. Some miscommunication there for the Comets. Will be out for Yellow Jackets throw. And we have some substitutions as Booser goes to the bench, as well as Alex Gibson. Checking in again is number 22, Ben Wilson, the freshman out of Aurora in the midfield. And Brandon Garibaldi back into the game. He had just checked out for Dixon, and Dixon is now switched back over to left back, and Hoover's gone over to right back. Garibaldi at right wing.
Great patience by Attila Nagy there. He didn't try to force the issue. Just wanted to space his team out a little bit more, so he sends it back to the goalkeeper.
We've played nearly 20 minutes here in the second half at George Finnie Stadium, Tressel Field. We went into the halftime break 3-0, and it remains 3-0 on the scoreboard. Now, this is something that we saw for BW yesterday, as it was 2-0 going into the halftime break. It wasn't until the latter end of the game when they started putting in the final 2 goals. That one dangerous in the middle, just leaking a little bit behind number 13, Cole Miller. Tusick, pressure on his left-hand side, plays it to Garibati. 1v1. Step over, take it to the end line, and just a little heavy. And it runs past him and out of play. Goal kick for the Comets and a substitution for the visitors. Checking into the midfield is number 20, Dominic Burmeister. And checking out, number 8, Zach Steffen.
Olivet changed keepers at half to Ian Morrison. We haven't seen him register a save yet.
Foul there. We'll set up a free kick for Attila Nagy and the Yellow Jackets. He'll put this one down quickly. Get the ball back in play. Dixon out to the far side. We'll go all the way back to Zach Hoover, who's able to keep it in on the far touchline. Plays it back to Garibati with the left foot swinging it in. Wilson tripped up. Should be an easy foul call, and it is.
Great job by Hoover on that touchline. Just to great hustle play. And especially on a back-to-back, seeing a guy who played nearly the entire game yesterday go and get that in the second half. Just really proud of the fitness you have if I'm Coach Ayers.
Julian Carey's here on the near side. Is Nagy looking for the end swinger. Puts this one in. It's low. Not going to make it over the first defender. Again, that's one of those important things where you want to make sure on that cross in you get over that first player. Give your guys a chance. Some heavy contact as strength for strength. Joshua Rosendale wins that one over Garibati. Lets it run. Goal kick for Roos. So head coach Doug Carter's squad maybe playing a tad bit better here in the half. Defensively, shored some things up. Not really giving BW some of those opportunities on those 50-50s in the middle. It seems like they're actually the first ones winning those crosses that BW's delivering in, unlike in the first half.
And that had to be an emphasis at halftime. They were just getting killed on those type of plays, and you know, they moved Rosendale back. He's played pretty well defensively, but really haven't been able to get any offense going on the other side. And Rosendale has a goal already this year, so it hurts to move him back to the defense, but when you need it, like this team needed it early in that first quarter of play, it's kind of needed. And you know, although you only have 6 shots, I feel like they had some dangerous looks early, some chances to break open this game, but.
And there's going to be a bit of a talking here in the middle really quick. I believe Julian Carey's got a really quick talking to. Now the official talking to one of the captains, Brandon Garibaldi, out there, discussing some things over with him really quick. So this has been a tad bit of a lull in the action. The official finally getting this one going again. 22.5 minutes left in the second half. On the throw, Surwitz delivering it into the box, floats it up to the back post. Hoover was lurking way towards the back of the 18, carries in the middle of the box, falls harmlessly in between the two of them, where Peter Roos is able to come out and collect. Substitution for the Comets. Checking out, number 10, Noah Runnels. And checking in is number 18, Tristar Sayumwe.
Neither team has a shot on goal in the second half. And that's really been because of Olivet's ability to control the possession way better than they did in the first half.
Garibaldi's going to be offsides there as he was bursting through the middle. An excellent run, and Tusick held on to it a little bit too long. Should have released it quicker as Garibaldi was on a full-on sprint, and the defense just stepped up and off by probably a good 4 or 5 yards as Tusick held on to that.
You can just tell Garibaldi's game IQ is really good. He knows when to make those type of runs.
Well, the versatility too. Been playing outside back this season. Started at right back yesterday. Came off of the bench at outside back. Now playing a little bit of right wing as well.
On top of that, he's a captain.
And making that slashing run through the middle. Again, such a dangerous run. And they were looking for him, but got all the way back to the goalkeeper. Just shielding it off is Dickinson. And here is going to be that hydration break that we talked about, with it being the afternoon. And on the turf, it's a lot warmer than what it's showing at about 81 degrees. Probably a good 90 degrees there on the turf, if not a little bit more. So we're going to take a really quick break with them here on BWYellowJackets.com for the final 20 minutes of this game. And we're back after the hydration break on bwyellowjackets.com. Cole McDaniel and Luke Schradel bring you the last 20 minutes here in the second half. The Yellow Jackets still maintaining a 3-0 advantage. Again, Olivet, a 3-game losing streak coming in, an overall record of 1-4. BW 4-3 after their win yesterday. And they are 2-1 at home. Mentioned that the women's team, again, turning George Finnie Stadium into a bit of a fortress here so far in this season, as they're undefeated at home. And the men's team, aside from the one loss, again, a little bit of the same, as it's been tough to get a victory against both Yellow Jacket programs here in Berea. Ball played down just beyond Kleck, and running it down was Tristar Sayumwe. And Kleck just poked it off of the foot of Sayumwe, and it will result in a goal kick. Zoltan Nagy. No room to go anywhere, so sends it back to Nagy, who will feed Kleck. They'll try it. That forward, takes some contact and gets the foul call. Gary's had pressure behind him, checked his left shoulder, flicks it back to Nagy. A Lakewood connection there between the two. Feed out to the far side. Step over. Getting bottled up. On that far side is James. He's probably been the most threatening guy going forward for Olivet today. Has some speed and shows off some of the foot skills, but when you get surrounded by 3 guys, it's tough to go anywhere. 2 substitutions for BW and a sub for Olivet. Coming in is number 3, Seth Locklear for the Comets. Matt Began, number 12, the senior, in at left wing as Tusick takes a seat. Also a substitution up top as number 16, Evan Scott's in. See another change as Quieres will go to the bench.
Quieres had a great job of passing the ball today. I thought that he didn't get too involved in the offense, but did what he needed to do for BW to get the win today.
Again, Quieres did bag 2 goals yesterday. The brace getting finished up with the penalty kick he converted on yesterday. Subbing in for him was number 10, Mason Morris. The freshman out of Lewis Center went to Olentangy Berlin High School. Long throw coming for Olivet. Into the near post, Attila Nagy meets it, but only heads that out as far as Rosendale. Rosendale with the right foot does not get his body turn and his leg wrapped around that. And sails it over the crossbar for a goal kick.
Yeah, seemingly frustrated with that body language after he scored 1 goal so far this season. Wants to tally another one on.
Feed out to the near side. Dixon has plenty of room to go back to the middle to Nagy. Instead, he tried to go down the line, and now Nagy will get the touch as he has plenty of space. Again, he's had a lot of room to operate with at his center defensive mid spot in this one. Here he is on the ball once again. Opportunity to feed Dixon on the near side. Takes the contact. The feed. Began shoots that. It's off of the hands of Roos, and it falls pretty easily for BW, and Nick Surwitz, the first one to follow it up, give the midfielder the hat trick on the day. 4-0 BW.
And that more of a mistake by Ian Morrison than anything. I mean, he really had a chance to just lock that up with 2 hands. Surely grab it, come down, and plays over. But credit to BW for the hustle and just getting there, being in the right position to make that play was Surwitz, and he finishes it off for the hat trick.
Christmas came early for Surwitz, as you can't get a much easier goal there to get your hat trick. He'll take it. Right place, right time. All he needed to do was get a foot on it after Roos fumbled it. Just buried that one home. And we're sitting at the same score line we were sitting at the conclusion of the game yesterday, 4-0.
And those 2 shots on goal were the only 2 shots on goal in this half. So Olivet really did a nice job of kind of controlling the possession in this half, but they really didn't get too many dangerous chances. Some poor execution, but, you know, they had some good looks in the first half. They just were all in transition. But with the energy level from traveling from yesterday and today being a back-to-back, really seemingly out of their game today.
Well, and that is one that Roos will, of course, want back, and he should pull in. But do have to say that Matt Began put some pace on that shot. Again, it was directly to him, but that pace is maybe what caused some difficulties for the goalkeeper. Several subs for both of the teams. Is onto the field for BW. In the midfield, number 14, Jason Lambert. So left back, Josh Kaziak, in for BW as well. And number 15, AJ DeLeonibus. Cross to the far side, rolls out.
Too heavy on the touch there. Man, Nagy loves taking his time to survey the field.
Well, and they're still making a substitution here right now, so Nagy's got plenty of time to wait before we get the action going here. Now he will put it down the field. Header won initially by Olivet, but going back the other direction, giving chase is Scott. Scott applying pressure on Roos, who just gets it away. And Scott, coming from an offside position, as Began tried to feed him. And the offsides is taking a good old time to get the ball back to about the 15-yard line, where they'll need to take that kick. 15-yard line again on the football hashes, as this is the football field as well here in George Finnie Stadium. Dribbles all the way back to Nagy. He's keeping the clean sheet on the day. It was Matt Weaver who got the clean sheet yesterday, and JT Brenneman actually came in the latter portion of the game. Again, maintained the clean sheet. Nagy so far holding in this one, hasn't been tested much at all. We'll wait and see if Nagy plays the rest of this game or if another goalkeeper does get some time on the field, being up 4-0. Began with some pressure, able to find Scott. Plenty of room for Began to run. Scott trying to advance this, and the foot race won by Gerbasi. Floated ball from Roos into the middle. That's dangerous as Wilson's able to get to it. Unable to find a teammate. That one just on the line there. Some heavy contact and a foul. Will go the direction of Olivet. And this afternoon's Yellow Jacket men's soccer match is being brought to you by Santos Italian Restaurant in Middleburg Heights, a family-owned and operated restaurant for 35 years, and American International. When you require a company with proven performance, rely on American International. More substitutions for both of these teams. Kajil Dickinson enters the game once again for Olivet. And number 35, Michael Clark, freshman forward, getting his first action of the day. Attila Nagy and Alex Kleck both go to the bench, and their days are wrapped up. Checking in for BW, number 34, Nick Manivilovsky. As well as in the midfield, number 27, Anthony Cora. Began back to Lambert, the senior, looking for Scott. Ball cut out here on the near side. Out for a throw. Lambert will come over to take it. Has some room to find Wilson in the middle. Wilson has it taken off of his foot. Oh, it's heavy contact there as Manivilovsky was pushed from behind. Stumbles into the knees of Christopher Hook. Glad to see that. Could have been awkward for Hook as he took the brunt of the contact. He's up, appears to be okay. And the free kick taken quickly from Ham to Wilson. To the back post, Manivilovsky just gets his left foot around it. Not able to haul it in. And it bounces back to the new goalkeeper in net. No number, just a red shirt. So not sure which goalkeeper that is on the roster, as we have only not seen three goalkeepers out on the field. So again, not necessarily sure who is in goal for Olivet. Third goalkeeper in action today for the Comets. And another substitution for the Comets. And another new face onto the field. Looks to be number 26, junior midfielder Eduardo Roman Jr.
Eduardo Roman Jr., also a new goalie and number 00, Peter Roos.
6 minutes left to go. 4-0 Yellow Jackets.
if you're Olivet, you would love to register a shot on goal. They haven't gotten one in this second half. Got to come out with some type of positive.
Began playing it down the line. Should be dealt with by Olivet. And Mendoza wins the foot race versus Morris. At about a 2-yard head start. Out for a Yellow Jackets throw. Began trying to split 2 defenders. He'll throw it in on the far side. The header on frame. Had some pace behind it from Scott. Directly into the hands of the keeper. Who will play it up the field. Lambert gets to it. Of course, Lambert had subbed in just a bit ago in the midfield. Now moved over to left back. Lambert to Wilson. Wilson opens up his body. Out to Ham the other way. He's got plenty of time to turn in the middle. Ball to the far side. An excellent run. Might have bounced up and caught the hand of D. Leonibus. Rewarded for the nice run from right back by his teammate Mason Morris. Just happened to take a bad bounce for him. And that attack is over for the Yellow Jackets, and some big contact there as Scott gets tripped up. And number 13, Cole Miller, not happy, thinking that Scott went down too easily, but I believe that Miller just stepped on Scott's heel, and that's why he went down. Just some incidental contact.
Just kind of jumped on and added a little bit of extra contact while he was on the ground. I think that's what Scott was kind of upset about. He's kind of just shaking his head, and it really doesn't matter. Just kind of move on. And that's what the good players do. They don't let their emotions get involved.
I don't blame him for being a little bit upset, though.
I mean, either. It looked like he kind of stared him down afterwards, too. I mean, can't really do that, especially you're down 4-0.
Lambert finds a beautiful through ball there. Just splits a couple defenders. Opportunity for the shot in the box. All it needed was a finish. Just put it on frame either side of the goalkeeper, and Anthony Cora would probably be looking at a goal for himself and a 5-0 scoreline. Instead, maybe a bit antsy, getting some time out there on the field, and the sophomore from North Olmsted skies that one up to the left-hand side. Still 2.5 minutes left to go in this one. And BW remaining on the attack. Safe to say that unless something crazy happens, Zoltan Nagy will maintain his clean sheet on the day. Lambert turns, finds Manivolowski. A flick behind the back to Scott, who's dispossessed, but applying the pressure, not making it easy on Olivet to get it off of the near side.
We talked so much about the youth of this team. Kind of getting some film on these guys. If you're Coach Reed Ayers right now, taking a look at who can make an impact in the future and how your players have developed over the season so far. A lot of these guys haven't gotten a chance to show what they can do.
So what's coming up next for both of these teams? At home again, a nice little run of home games for the Yellow Jackets on Wednesday night. Geneva from Pennsylvania will be visiting, and then next Saturday will be at Earlham in Indiana. As for Olivet, next up for them, they'll be playing Defiance, a team that the Yellow Jackets just beat in overtime the other night. And then they'll be on the road at Hope to round out September. Here's a shot, deflected at the near post. That was Herring looking for goal. Cleared out. And Olivet has 40 seconds left in this one. Try to maybe put one on the score sheet. A throw in the corner here on the near side.
Taking a look at some of Geneva's matchups so far this season, the next team that BW will face, as you said, they played Defiance College, a team that BW played and won in overtime 2-1. Geneva lost to that team 1-2, and they also played against two OAC opponents in Marietta and Mount Union. They tied Marietta in double overtime and lost to Mount 1-0.
And that will be Wednesday night. And you will hear that game and see that game on bwyellowjackets.com. At the conclusion of this one, identical scoreline to the game yesterday. So back-to-back days of 4-0 wins for the men's soccer team. And they move to 5-3. Olivet drops to 1-5 on the season. 0-4 on the road. The road has not been friendly to them so far, but they are going to be returning to home here very soon to try to get some results, back for their team. So we'll wait and see what happens for BW come Wednesday night. But in this one, again, you can be happy about the weekend, relax easy, but, celebrate it for about 24 hours and then right back to work and be prepared for continuing the season. But especially if you're a guy like Nick Surowitz, the senior midfielder, picked up a hat trick today. Again, something to be happy about. So what were your honest thoughts about this one, Luke?
I mean, this was a confidence booster in a way for this team. 2 weekend wins, 4-0. You kind of get your offense moving a little bit, and that helps out the execution. We saw it today from compared to yesterday. And, that OT win they had before really boosted them. So I think they're really moving in the right direction, and today was evidence of that again.
For myself, Cole McDaniel, as well as Luke Schradel, thanks for joining us this weekend as we had 3 soccer matches. Again, you can catch us both on bwyellowjackets.com here very shortly. But for us, have a great